Hello students, welcome to In 5 Minutes. We'll start with second sum of half range cosine series. Now here my range is splitted. I have took another type of sum, but again it is half range. So with respect to half range, understand it has started with 0 to pi. That means my half range is 0 to pi, which you will be comparing with 0 to L. So with respect to that, your L value is nothing but pi. So my series, I write my series. So f of x is half range cosine series. So f of x is equal to a0 plus summation an cos, as it is 0 to pi. So if you remember, I don't need to write n pi x now, so I can directly write as nx. So that comes my half range where n equal to 1 to infinity. So let's start with finding a0. So my a0 is 1 upon pi 0 to pi f of x dx, so which is equal to 1 upon pi. Now I'll be splitting it. So 0 to pi by 2, my function is x dx, plus from pi by 2 to pi, my function is pi minus x dx. So now let's integrate. So I get 1 upon pi. So first is x square by 2, where my lower limit is 0, upper limit is pi by 2, and then plus pi x minus x square by 2, where lower limit is pi by 2, upper limit is pi. So when you substitute, you get 1 upon pi. Let's substitute. When you put pi by 2 here, that's come pi square by 4. So pi square by 8 will be your answer. When you put 0, that doesn't matter, 0 is 0. Then here plus, putting upper limit, I get pi square minus pi square divided by 2, minus your lower limit will be pi by 2. So that comes pi square by 2 minus pi square by 8. So finally, after solving this, I get pi by 4 as my a0. Now let's start with an. So an is 2 by pi 0 to pi f of x into cos nx dx. So again you will be splitting your limits here. 2 by pi from 0 to pi by 2. Your f of x is x into cos nx dx, plus from pi by 2 to pi, it is pi minus x into cos nx dx. Now let's integrate. So that comes 2 by pi, and then here u into v, as you know this is u and this is v, the same applies here. So I start with x. Integration of cos is sin nx divided by n, minus differentiation of x is 1, then again minus cos nx divided by n square. So that's my u into v of first term. Then next, I write next as pi minus x, it's a x, then cos nx is sin nx divided by n, then minus, it is minus 1. Integration of sin is again minus cos nx divided by n square, where my lower limit is pi by 2, upper limit is pi. So now let's put lower limit and upper limit. So in the first term it was 0 to pi by 2. So I write as 2 by pi, and then when you substitute pi by 2, I get as, let's substitute it. So I write pi by 2 in the place of x into 1 by n into sin n pi by 2. So hope you got it. Minus minus plus. When you substitute here again, so in the place of x, you'll be substituting pi by 2. So plus 1 by n square cos of n pi by 2. And when you substitute 0, so this becomes as 0, minus, and this minus and minus becomes plus, and cos 0 is 1, so you get 1 upon n square. So that's my first limit, that is first term. Now plus, that is this plus I'm writing here. I'm putting upper limit. Upper limit is pi, pi minus pi 0, so whole term is 0. So starting is 0, minus minus minus, so 1 minus is remaining, 1 upon n square. So cos n pi here, then put lower limit, that comes, so I write minus I'm putting a lower limit. So pi by 2 here, pi minus pi by 2 is pi by 2 into 1 by n sine of n pi by 2, and then minus 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 remains, but outside minus becomes plus, that changes the sign, and then 1 by n square, and here cos of n pi by 2. So that is my whole substitution of limits, which finally gives me a n as